I will get started if that's all working right. Awesome. All right. So we're looking at the SelfDefined app. Let's go ahead and hop on in here. And cool. So yeah, if you don't know, SelfDefined is this really awesome project by Tatiana Mack, working to kind of just let people define their own terms in their own way. And the so this is all an open source project. One of the coolest things is that people can go in and define words just through GitHub pulls. So if we click into one of these, like English as a second language, you can see why this could be potentially harmful or potentially problematic. It's very monolinguistic, and also there's it's deprecating to people who are not English speakers. It implies that English is the default. So there's all the other options. This is a really cool resource for lots of things like this. But what we're going to be looking at today is this issue. Maybe my internet is being real slow today. Right here. And chat, feel free to ask questions at any point. I would be more than happy to answer anything that I can answer. And let's do this. Okay, so this issue here, originally considering axe linting and linkinator for potentially like a GitHub action. So axe linter is this awesome accessibility GitHub action, but one of the problems is it costs money. And since this is it's free for personal use, but since this is an organization with an app inside of it, we can't use it. You have to set up a plan, which kind of sucks. Until this project gets funding, it may not make the most sense. So what we're going to do instead is look into some other command line accessibility linters. Essentially all this does is all axe linter did was it run through the site and tell you any accessibility issues that you have with the site. I believe that's something that we can implement just using just some ESLint potentially and some rules there. Let's try to see if we can find. So let's maybe dig into a bit about how the axe linter stuff works. Might be possible to set this up to work on our own. We might also just be able to run axe within a GitHub action, which would be a lot easier than trying to implement like a full custom system using like Lighthouse or something like that. So this is built in React. There are some other options. Let's go ahead and just dig into this a little bit maybe. I don't think axe linter is open source. think it's just I'm pretty sure that we would have to implement something with Axe Core instead of Axe Linter. Yeah, it doesn't look like there's an open source version of this, which I definitely understand. DQ has, you know, a business to run, but it does kind of make me sad. Cool. So let's go ahead and just see. Let's. I'm pretty sure I have the repo pulled down. If not, though, let's just grab a clean version regardless. Sorry about that. All right. So I'll go ahead and grab the code link here. All right. Let's okay, I do have a self-defined, so let's go ahead and jump into that right here. All right, I'm actually just gonna go ahead and fork this myself, and then update my fork. Maybe. Go ahead and get this here. How? I really am not super well versed in this, so let's learn this together. Looks like the... Nope. Let me know if the text on screen here is too small to read. I can bump it a little bit if needed. Here, I'll just do that real quick. Ah, that's right. Okay, so we'll have to make this update, but what we can do is get remote add upstream, and then that get upstream okay, so we've added that. There we go. Cool. So there is the prod from that. So we'll go ahead and branch off a new branch that's just was, we'll call it accessibility action. Awesome. So, real quick introduction to GitHub Actions. Essentially, they are just CI and CD built through GitHub. Pretty straightforward, pretty easy to understand. They're all developed through YAML files. If we look in here at workflows, this is where they're stored, the .github folder /workflows. So there's already one in SelfDefined. It's pretty straightforward here. It just runs npm install, npm run lint, and npm test, which just runs all of the tests for the site. Every time you make a pull request, I think we can look at that. So we tell it when. So on push and on pull request, and it uses the Ubuntu latest image, uses some cache stuff to make it a little faster, but everything's pretty straightforward there. So what we want to do is add an ally.yml, and we can actually just look at this main.yml for our base file. And we'll make it on push and pull request. That'll make it run just any time. We can still use the rest of this essentially the same way. Now what we need to do is figure out how we want to get the accessibility information. So I'm thinking Axe Core might be good. Okay, I gotta turn this music down or off. It's loud and distracting. Let me maybe just grab another station. How about some chill? Would that be? I think that's a little better, maybe. So yeah, let's see what we got here. Axe. The other option, I think, Lighthouse CLI does a little bit of this. I think actually we want Lighthouse CI. Cool. So there's a GitHub action just right there. This actually looks pretty good for just a base thing. Maybe we can tweak it a little bit. This might be way easier than I thought. Let's go ahead and jump into getting started here and just see what we can figure out. Okay, well, let's just see what this does, I guess, since it's pretty much exactly what we were looking for. Let's go ahead and just drop that in there. We got Lighthouse CI here. We'll have to do an install, and let's see what the package JSON looks like real quick. Okay, so yeah, it's just build. So this honestly should just work. Let's go ahead and see side self-defined git add lighthouse run. No Corona, just really, really sour lemonade that I choked on a little bit. Oh, yeah, right. Cool. So this push should make a new branch for me. Doesn't like. I bet I need to do a npm install. Color is not good, huh? 1 second, let me. There we go. It's a little more readable. This npm install is going to take a while, apparently. How's everybody doing tonight? You all having a pretty good day? I don't know what time it is where everybody's at. I'm at 7:30 p.m. here, so it is well past the end of my workday. But I've got tomorrow off. Anybody doing anything fun for the weekend, chat? And yeah, if this does run short, I'll probably hop into doing something else. I don't know what. Maybe we'll add another action, or we'll talk more about those, or I don't know. We'll figure something out, you know? It's all good. Nice, yeah, sleeping in for the week, or for the long weekend, or I'm assuming people have long weekends if they're in the U.S. We've got the 4th of July. But yes, it has been the Mondayest week ever. Ooh, nice, Ashley. Putting your videos on YouTube. I've been considering dual streaming between here and YouTube. I think that could be good. Hey, thanks for the follow, Natalie. You've tomorrow off and your vacays all next week. That sounds amazing. I should take a vacation. I kind of have been putting it off since this whole the Corona stuff hit. It's very just like it's hard for me to prioritize taking a vacation, which is ridiculous. I should take one. But yeah, it's been interesting. And thanks for the follow there. Oh, awesome. How's it going, John? It's always fun to see people's usernames on Twitch because I feel like it's so separate from the like normal dev usernames that we all use because it's like, gaming first or whatever. And so people end up with interesting usernames. Okay, well, this seems to have run. So let's go ahead and commit that and see how this goes with this pre-commit hook. Oh, I should probably add git. Let's add that commit. That's awesome. And very cool. Teaching students to use a basic GitHub action to show up build status for their final projects. That is really, really cool. I've actually, we've been using GitHub Actions at work a lot lately, and I absolutely love them. I think they're probably the best feature GitHub's added in a while. they just make things so much easier that your like CI lives with your code. I think it's just really, really solid. So, all right, it looks like Markdown lint ran. Ooh, that's a good idea. Using an Electron app to pull chat messages from both. I should do that. At some point here, I think I'm going to invest in Apple Motion and maybe build out some fun like animations and stuff for the stream. I've also considered just like writing everything in HTML, and maybe I'll do that as a stream someday, because you can use the like browser source in Streamlabs to just have like a React app or just plain HTML or whatever just kind of show up. I don't know. I need to do a little bit of work on the stream. I've got a little bit here kind of going, but it'd be nice to get a little more. I think I need to update my follower goal too. I think we're 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We're at 10. I gotta. All right, here, we'll go ahead and update this right now. Maybe. My stream doesn't want to let me update it, maybe. I'm not sure. We'll just end the goal. And let's, cool. That's awesome. New followers. We're at 10. Let's do 20. There we go. I'll update my follower goal thing there a little bit. Cool. All right, so let's jump back to this real quick. Looks like this worked. Let's go ahead and create. Oh, that's right. Brew install. Oh no. I'm sorry. My Streamlabs bot is a little overzealous on things. I apologize. I really need to figure out. I'm very new to the whole streaming thing, so figuring out all of the like settings and everything for everybody is a bit of a hassle. Oh, never mind. Well, you can post a link now. That's not exactly what I was trying to do, but go for it. Anyway, Ashley. Okay, yeah, the caps thing is annoying. I don't really care about that. Let me turn that off real quick, since we're just chilling here anyway. And this seems like it might be way easier than we thought it would be. You had your first experience with GitHub Actions a week ago, and it does is run just. Yeah, that's like the coolest thing about it is that like you can get your tests running in CI just like immediately with very, very little like work. 13 lines of code is pretty awesome, right? You all can see me just update my Streamlabs stuff real quick while we're sitting here. And I think I was going to grab the there we go. Compare and pull request. Awesome. Thank you, Ashley. I gotta log in first, I think. I think this might be the most people that we've had on here, though, which is super cool. Thank you all for joining. I'm excited to be doing this. All right, caps protection. There we go. Let's just turn that off. whatever. Post as many caps as you'd like. All right. Cool. So yeah, let's see. We've got here. I'm not going to worry about this too much, but let's go ahead and just create a draft PR and see how this run goes. Oh, cool. Yeah, nice. Yeah, I am not 100% sold on Streamlabs. I like it so far. Been considering just, basic OBS. There's a few other softwares out there that I think are interesting as well. Cool. So our thing seems to be running. Let's go ahead and see what this looks like. Ooh. Do we have a challenge here? Should we solve this on stream? I think this is going to work like right away. So curious to see what this solve this is if you can is. Thanks for telling me that it is safe for work. Luckily, I'm not at work. I guess it has to be safe for Twitch, but who knows what they do. Seems to be going. Oh, configuration file not found. Okay, cool. It seems to be maybe going. All right, let's do this. Let's decode this. I'm assuming it's base 64. Now solve this. Oh boy. Hexadecimal? Hex to decimal converter. Hexadecimal to text. Let's see what it does. Oh, this is the best stream derailing that I've ever had happen. Not that I've had very many happen, but it is cool. What's up? All right, let's see. All right, convert. All right, this is still running over here. I'm just checking back on that periodically. Let's go hex numbers to text. Ooh, rotate. Oh, look at that. We're getting there. All right. Rotation cipher. Decoder. I guess I could just do this on stream. We could also write something for this, maybe. Let's see if we can do that. That'll be fun. All right, we're derailing this stream. We are now just solving puzzles. Let's do it. Hey, Patchy. Thanks for the follow. All right, here's what we're doing now. We're making a new directory called puzzle. We're getting into this. It's a coding stream, right? We should code this. So what we're going to do, let's do vimrot.js. And we will const stir. Uh-oh. Our lighthouse build failed. What happened? Did you solve the answer there? All right. So I was just gonna look at this real quick. Looks like something failed. Oh, actually, this is exactly what we would have expected to have happen. Cool. Well, that actually is pretty cool that it worked like right off the bat. It so it doesn't have certain things here. There's a lot of stuff. I think if we were to go to well, here, let me if I grab this in Chrome and we do self-defined app. Oop. I think if we ran the Lighthouse audit, because the app does not have a lot of the progressive web app stuff, I believe that's why those are currently failing. Yeah, I can allow that. There we go. Yeah, you did get auto-modded. I solved it there. But yes, yeah, no, I would. I don't know. I'm gonna trust chat here. I probably will not click on random links though. I think worst case scenario here, we end up with some text that's not great, but I'm not too worried about that. So yeah, so we see this. Yeah, so there's the Lighthouse. Ensure text remains visible during web font load, and then if we pop over here, it has the same error right here. Ensure text remains visible during web font load, which is awesome. So yeah, ooh, I think my Firefox is crashing a bit, and now Numbers wants to update. Wow, Mac, you're doing the most. All right, I'm gonna force quit Firefox real quick and reopen it. Yeah, Apache, I stopped by to watch one of your streams the other day, and realized that I didn't understand it at all, because I don't speak Spanish or Portuguese, and I was very confused. Let me just say that. But it looked really good. I enjoyed watching, though I did not understand. Yeah, Portuguese. Sorry. Oh, nice. Yeah, I think this was yeah, it was a little bit ago, and I don't remember when it was. But yeah, no, I enjoyed it. It was fun. I just didn't understand it. I think the real lesson here is that I should just learn Portuguese, and then this would be fine, right? Okay, Firefox is still not responding. So maybe we'll just switch on over to Chrome for a little bit. I'm embarrassed to show you all how many tabs I have open in Firefox. Do you all want to be really, really disappointed in me? Let's just see. I have so many tabs open that Firefox can't currently quit, which is great. And yes, Firefox definitely needs an app. I made the mistake the other day of I have Firefox on my phone too, and so I opened up my synced tabs so I could close all the ones on my phone, and yeah, that might be why. 8 windows with 576 tabs open. That's a lot. I'm sure my RAM is dying. But yes. So I opened like 200 tabs off of my phone the other day. And so that's like half of these. The other half, I have no excuse. I'm just a tab hoarder. Okay, we're going to go ahead and close that. My RAM is very sad right now. I'm not going to be able to sign into GitHub, though. From here. Well, I should have closed these before the stream started. But this is going to be my best stream ever. Solving a puzzle, doing a little bit of linting, and just closing tabs. All right. Maybe we just kill some windows real quick. They can't be that important, right? If I haven't looked at them yet. It's 100 tabs that we just killed. I did not realize that my video and my audio weren't matching up, but that is good to know. I will definitely try to do this. Let's see if we can fix some of... Yeah, the app is dying again. What I was saying, we could actually probably just run this locally too, and get this working. But so if we look at this, if we do like an npx lhci or lhci/cli, should run locally. My this is so part of this is that this is not my work computer, so what I end up doing is I work on my work computer and then I come to this computer and I just like Google things, and then I never close them. And I mean, none of these excuses are good excuses, but they're excuses at least. All right, we're getting there. We killed a few more. Normally before a stream I would close all my tabs, but I kind of forgot to do that this time. Someday I should do a stream of me just breaking down all of the stuff that I Google. And like why I end up with this many tabs. Let's see how that goes. All right. How are we doing? Let's see. Closed like 4 windows, and I think we're down about 200 tabs. We're still running in the background here too. So hopefully this lighthouse run runs. Ooh, yeah, wiping out Xcode. That is sketchy. It's kind of ridiculous how much of development stuff on a Mac relies on Xcode. I have a really bad problem with hoarding tabs, and that like I end up opening them because I really am interested in the things that I'm like looking at, and then I get distracted and don't close them because I end up, I'll like Google something and then I'll open like 7 tabs, and then I'm like, I will go back and read those someday, and I never go back and read them. I really should be better about tabs. Yeah, Xcode not being fully installed. Yeah, you'll love to see it, I guess. Okay, we're getting much closer, y'all. This is the one I'm a little nervous about. Okay, there we go. All right, my computer might be able to breathe now. Let's go ahead and see what we did here. 16 tabs. We did it. Yeah, I've heard of one tab. I've tried it before, tried similar things. For a while, I tried one that was like a tab limiter. And what happened with that is I would limit myself to like 20 tabs per window, but I would just end up opening new windows. And that didn't work out very well. So I need a better solution. I've been looking at Workona. Tried this at work a little bit. And it's pretty cool. But I don't know. It's fine. I'm not a huge fan of all of this kind of stuff. Yeah. Woo! 16 tabs. But yeah, Workona's pretty neat, actually. It lets you switch between like tab groups. And like handle it like lets you say like this is my work space, and you can like open up all the work links you need. Yeah, I should check out one tab. What I'm gonna end up doing here is just reopening these windows with the like Firefox history tool at some point, but that's a problem for future Conlon. All right, well, we're running this. Let's hop back to the puzzle real quick and see. We ended up we converted hexadecimal to text, right? And there's our text, and we needed to rotate this, so we were gonna it's like Slack but for browsers. Yes, Workona is kind of like that. Yeah, that's a pretty good analogy, actually. So let's just go ahead and write a rot. So the fun thing here is we can take string and like times. And what we need to do is stir.map character it's the JavaScript for JavaScript if space. Oh yeah, that makes sense, right? So stir dot yeah, let's just do that. So and so here we'll do stir dot, oh yeah, that makes sense, char equals space. I don't know, I've been programming all day and I am fried, but that's why we're doing a coding stream. Makes a ton of sense, right? Yeah, good call there. Char equals space. And so what we want to do then is, okay, we're going to get rid of the exclamation point just because that makes it a little easier to do. So we need to add the rotation amount to this character. And so we can get string from char code JavaScript. So we can do char dot char code at, I think, let's just jump into a node real quick. And dot char, well, let's just do a, I guess. Dot char code at 0. Okay, and then plus 13. And I think we can just do string.char code from, nope, what is the function? From char code. Char code. Cool, so that lets us rotate that way. So what we can do here is and times, and then we'll just make this a space or whatever. So now we have a rotation there. I'm gonna make this char, and now we should be able to do. I think we need dot to lower just to make sure that this works case correctly. But from there we should be able to just do like for let I equals 0, I plus I less than or equal to 26, I plus plus, just letters in the English alphabet, and we string I, and we should be able to just console. Now, moment of truth. Nope, I did a bad thing. What did I do? Oh, I didn't finish out my map. There we go. Oh, I need to split that. That's right. I always forget that strings and arrays. So I think we can do just array dot from maybe. Interesting. I don't know why that didn't work. Let's just do a... Yep. That's why. Thanks for the advice there. It's like pair programming, but with 6 people. Oh, shoot. And we're going to need to... in this situation where... yeah, that's a good point. Convert it back to a string. And then what we're going to have to do, though, is if... Okay, so char code equals car.char code at 0, and then if char code... remember z dot char code at 0, it's greater than 122, 22, well, not that, plus times is that, else. we're basically, Ashley, what we're doing is writing a thing to solve a rotational cipher. So a rotational cipher is where, this is some letters off of another thing, and we would rotate this like up or down, or in a direction to get the code. So, okay, so there we go. So in this situation, we can just return that. But if this is true, we need to do let's ignore what I just typed there. 97. Okay. So 97 plus 122 minus this, I think. It's not going to be exactly it. So it will be A plus Z minus our character code. That's not what we want. Not exactly. Oh, okay, yeah. That should work. That didn't work. What did I do wrong? We should run back here and check. Okay, look. So look, we'll take a break from that for just a second and look at the fact that this seems to have told us what we need to know. So we just need to basically set up a config file for Lighthouse real quick. Some of those words were words, right? So we need to set up a config file, which is just a Lighthouse RC, and then tell it not to run the progressive web app, essentially. Interesting. Okay, so we could, I think, if I open up over here, I believe we have a, serve. So if we do vim dot, lighthouse dot rc, right? Or not lighthouse rc.js, right? So put that in there. We should be able to just do npm run serve, and I think it's npm run serve opens this on port. What port? Okay, 8081. So we don't need that anymore. Open up this. 8081. And we need to tell it what things to run. Cool. So now in here, we just need to do that, and we need to decide which ones we want on and off. So let's go ahead and run this again real quick. That's probably going to take a second to run. And so if it's not too jarring, let's go ahead and just look back at this real quick. what did we do wrong here? So if it's more than that, so char code times this is, so this is const rotation rotated. And so if we have that, we want to, so that's going to be more than 122, right? And so in that case, we need to subtract it. This should give us, no, that's, I think that's backwards. We need to subtract 122 from that, and then add that to A. So let's do, so the reason that it's 97 and 122 is that 97 is the char code for A. This actually might be a little easier to like const A code is A dot char code at 0, and Z code is that. And so if we say this is a little is like that, Z code, so we're getting basically positions, because in Unicode space, or in like ASCII space, I guess, we actually have sequential numbers. So if we do you know, string, like, well, if I do so array dot from length 26 dot map I, so 97 string dot from char code 97 plus I. You'll see here. Why don't you like that? Right. I is the second. There we go. So A, B, C, D, E, F, G, you know, all the way through, and that's the alphabet. So they're all sequential there, so we can just add those together for that rotation. And this should be closer. Oh, not rotate. Rotate. But that little function just needs it to like overflow a little bit. So okay, well, we didn't end up exactly with the right thing for some reason. But weirdly, why did we, I wonder why it just kept this in here. But I think we figured out what it says. I'm assuming that we can all grasp what this says. Thank you. Thank you for making me laugh there. That was hilarious. I like that this was a whole like trip to get to I like big butts and I cannot lie. All right, so back to this. Let's see what we got. I'm gonna sneeze again. Maybe. All right. So yeah, jumping back, we've got. Did this actually work? I actually don't think we need to tell it the server to look against. It seems to be having a little bit of issue with that. So if we go ahead and restart. Just got to rerun this. We'll see what happens. While we're waiting, a few people left in chat at least. What kinds of things are people interested in seeing on this channel? I really like doing GitHub Action stuff, but I feel like that kind of only goes so far. Be happy to talk. Like, I really like CI and CD and some of that kind of stuff. But I also don't know. I kind of want to have like a focus, at least something to work on here, but I don't know what that would be exactly. Does anybody have things that they're like into that they'd like to learn more about that we could cover on stream? I have a suggestion box on stream somewhere. If you are interested in leaving a suggestion, I think you can do it anonymously. But you want to know how people publish blog posts through GitHub issues and pull requests. Okay, we could definitely do something with that. So off the top of my head, there's a few ways that you could do that. Interesting. Yeah, okay. So that's a good thought. Could be fun. Just going through GitHub and like some of the different features. I think that would be cool too, because it could really just kind of illuminate the different features of GitHub. You can use GitHub Actions. I mean, the cool thing about GitHub Actions is that anything you can do with your code, you can do from GitHub Actions. So, yeah, you can do deployments, you can do updates, things like that, based on just PRs, which is pretty neat. From issues, there's a couple things that I'm thinking that you could be able to do to like run a blog through GitHub issues, and that could be cool. Basically how to use GitHub as a CMS could be neat. And I always like Netlify too. I agree. That's actually one that I want to show off at some point. I use so a lot of my stuff is hosted on Git.sourcehet. So this is like an alternative to GitHub. And it's kind of nice. It's built by like a single developer. It's got some features that I really like. It's also just not GitHub, which is nice, since they refuse to drop ice. Which, if nobody's seen, you should check out the saga of me calling out Nat Friedman on Twitter every single week, telling him to drop ice, or that we're waiting for the receipts for him to drop ice. I've really enjoyed doing that, but this is kind of one that's just, not quite as terrible as GitHub's can be. I absolutely love GitHub and their, like interface, everything about them. Yeah, John. Here, let me see if I can find it real quick. I've been doing it every week. Let me see what my Twitter looks like real quick. Let's see if I can find this. Yeah. I stopped putting it in the replies to the tweets because mostly because I didn't want it to just like you to just get a notification every single week that I was doing this. I'm gonna keep this going as long as I possibly can. But yeah, here they're still going, and they've gotten ridiculous. Yeah, because this was the original. This is the original where I replied to you, and then we kept it going, and then there was my retweet here is the one. We did this. Yeah, that was I remember you doing that, Ashley, and that was fantastic too. I also have been progressively like adding more and more hearts and various things to them, and just like, yeah. You know, if you, I'm starting to get worried. If you plan to drop ice, maybe nod once. Stay chill, Natty Light. That one was, you know, like pièce de résistance of calling him Natty Light. I love it. But anyway, all that to say, I use SourceHut. And one of the things about SourceHut is the way they're kind of set up. You can actually deploy from SourceHut to Netlify, but it adds like an additional step. And I was going to potentially do a stream or a blog post on how to do some of that, because I actually deploy I have a new site that I've been working on, and I host it all through SourceHut and then deploy here. Yeah, so here's the new site that I've been working on, and this all deploys through SourceHut to Netlify, which I really like. But I need to maybe write something up about that, or maybe just do it on stream. That could be fun. I've worked on this site on stream a little bit. It'd be cool to go into kind of how it's built. The other thing that I've been considering doing, if I let's see. Yeah, so scroll bar's a little weird here, but this is a Mac setup script that you can just curl and run. So you can curl my Keybase keys from here, and then you basically just do this like curl the website, and then you can like look at it and change mod and then just run the script as like a setup script. What's really nice about that is that I like have my setup, but it's like super specific to me. So you probably don't want to run this yourself. But it's kind of a fun little like concept. So if I curl this, you just run the commands that are here. But so this will tell you, yeah, we'll go ahead and overwrite that. And then if we like less, or like just cat setup.was.sh, you can see this is like a bash script with HTML in it, as a comment, which is weird. But it's kind of neat because it just runs like all of this script and none of this extra stuff shows up on the HTML side. And it just installs everything that you need, or at least that I need. I need to do a little bit more work on it, but I thought this was kind of fun, and I thought this could be something interesting to go over on stream sometime. Just like a really ridiculously over-engineered solution to dot files and setup. This is chugging. That was because of, ooh, yes, Ashley, we should definitely co-stream sometime. That'd be a ton of fun. I have a friend that I really want to, like he and I have been working on a little bit of a side project, and I was considering doing a pair programming stream and just going into like how to pair program. Oh, awesome. Thanks for the follow, Marcelo Barros. That's awesome. Thank you for following. But yeah, I kind of want to go into a like in-depth pair programming stream sometime about like tools and stuff. But yeah, Ashley, we should definitely do a co-stream. We could definitely do something cool with accessibility, and we could do a pair programming stream for sure. We'll have to talk about that a little bit, see if we can come up with an idea for something to build. Okay. Yeah, no GitHub token set. That's fine. I don't care about that. I need to do... can we turn off the progressive web app stuff here for... any of this? I would rather not have to turn off all of the, like every single assertion. Am I front end or full stack? There we go. No progressive web app. Yeah, I am full stack adjacent. Is what I would call it. I can write my way around a server, and I've written a lot of like server code in my time as an engineer, but I much prefer the front end. So, yeah, I mean, I do a lot. A lot of my jobs have just ended up being me filling whatever role I can fill at the time, and going from there. Interestingly, the speed index here, I think that this is because this is just running on my computer and the RAM is not super happy with me right now. Oh, and we're not serving it through HTTP too, because it's not hosted on Netlify right now, which would make sense. So I think though this, all right, let's see. Now that we've turned off the progressive web app stuff, since we don't need it right now, we can just look at this real quick. So we have this like upload target temporary public storage, and then assert preset lighthouse no PWA. So let's go ahead and just add this, and we'll just update the so the big problem is, well, this will be nice to have like lighthouse statistics. This isn't exactly what the DQ Axe stuff did, so we might also look into maybe adding Axe here, because what Axe linter does is actually go in and like comment on where in your code there are accessibility problems. And it would be nice to have something like this. And it's not too hard. If we can get Axe core to run, I don't know if you can run it as a, can we run it as just like a normal, yeah, basically I just want to run this as like a command line tool. Axe core command line tool. Whatever way though, let's look here real quick. I think we have it worked. Let's go ahead and push that. Ooh, actually, rm-rf.lighthouse. All right, remove some of those files real quick, and then we can just push those. All right, let's go ahead and push that. See what happens. While we're doing that, Axe CLI. Okay, let's see what we end up with this, because this could be useful. So yeah, basically we would just want to load this and then, okay, cool. So maybe we can put two actions in here, one to run Lighthouse and one to run Axe CLI, and see where we can go from there. Let's do GitHub workflows I'm just going to keep these as, oh, I already have that open. That's right. Let's see. So we can just duplicate this and run another job as axe CLI. God damn. And that is going to be axe. Oh my god, I cannot type today. Yeah, that's essentially what I was trying to do, was turn off the things that were failing, because this isn't a progressive web app. The progressive web app checks were failing, which makes sense, right? So I went ahead and just turned that off. That was my plan, was to just turn off the progressive web app things. We'll see. There's like one thing that's failing here. I might also submit a PR that just fixes the thing that fails. If we can figure out how to do that. I'm going to just put that in this PR as well. So what we end up with now, what we want here, real quick. Okay, axe, CLI, run, and we do that. And we want to run... Yeah, my plan is to get the perf reports at work as well. We haven't quite done that. We're slowly migrating. We have like a really super custom system that's built out on Travis, and we want to kind of migrate away from that. Since we use GitHub anyway, like it makes a lot of sense to migrate to GitHub Actions. And I think that's going to be the plan here. Okay, so we should be able to... this is going to get a little messy, but side self-defined. So what I'm thinking here is we'll just do an npm serve. Well, run serve, not serve. npm run serve. That'll open up the site, and we should be able to just do npx axe https, well, http / localhost 8081. Let's see if this works. If it does, we should be able to just like run this essentially and get the axe report out. And I can show off a neat little side thing on GitHub Actions of how to set. I don't think we're going to be able to get exactly this like suggestion thing, because you have to have a bot to do that. But we can at least give an idea of what's wrong. So we will see if this works. If it does, we might be able to do. Oh, okay, it didn't like the axe. We might be able to do the suggestions, but we could at least get comments in there. I don't think that's going to work exactly. What were you saying? Oh, wow, to? Oh, yeah, that suggestion feature is really cool. We might be able to get that. It'll depend on what kind of output we get from here, and if that's possible to put into into like a GitHub comment like that. There's some neat stuff you can do, but it's not the easiest thing in the world to get it to do some of that sometimes. Markdown, yeah, this is pretty cool. Interesting. Okay, I don't know why this isn't working. We're just gonna npm install ax-cli-g. All right, while this is doing that, I am gonna grab a drink real quick. Okay. I got my Vista Bay hard seltzer. And we're going to go with that. This is taking a while to install. Hopefully someday this will be done. While this is doing this, though, let's go ahead and jump over so we can see we're still failing a few things here, which is kind of interesting. We might just need to turn some of these rules off, especially like I think some of these are not super useful. The big thing, this font display is actually something I don't quite know how to fix it. I need to like dig into it a little bit if it's going to be something that we fix for this PR. We probably won't fix it tonight, but yeah, there's something here with like I think it's a flash of unstyled content causing problems. But outside of that, maybe there's a couple things we could fix with tap targets. Otherwise, I think these are just like small things that we don't need to worry about too much. Yeah, this index HTML is the one that we probably should focus on. And there's only a couple things failing there, and I think we could just turn that off. Let's just do that real quick. Assertions. Off. Let's see how that worked. And some of these songs get really loud. This install is taking forever. I think it's because it's trying to install Chrome, and there's a lot going on here. It'll be done someday. I've also thought about doing on stream, and I'm curious what everybody thinks about this. I've thought about doing some programming focused games. So if you've ever seen like Human Resource Machine, or 7 Billion Humans, I think is the sequel. So this game is like a programming game, and I think it could be a lot of fun to do as a stream, with like the like really trite titles that are just like, computer programmer plays Human Resource Machine or whatever. I think it could just be kind of fun. It's a neat little game, and I think it could be kind of a cool, like, let's talk about algorithms and like how different algorithms work and like that kind of stuff. Could be fun. I'm curious what people think about that. Yeah, 7 billion humans is the second one. And it has multi-threaded programming, which is exciting. All right. Man, this install is dragging here. I've also thought about just doing some like side game streams as well. We play a lot of games like Valorant and a couple other things with some friends of mine, and I think that could be kind of fun to just do some video game streams as well. But I really want to focus on the coding streams as like the main thing. Yeah, I don't know why this is taking so long. it's tons of fun just sitting here watching this go. Is there any questions that anybody has about GitHub Actions or anything that I could help answer while we're just sitting here watching bits download? Yeah, Ashley, I absolutely love your knitting streams. They're like just really relaxing, and I don't know, they've been a lot of fun. Yeah, it is probably the stream eating my bandwidth up, but it's still kind of irritating. Did the sound get any better, by the way? Oh, hey, we did it. There we go. Yeah, no, it's great. So, all right. So we have Axe. We have this thing up. Not HTTPS / localhost 8081. Let's see what happens. Now we just gotta wait for the test to run. Hopefully this will be quick. Interesting. I mean, I guess that makes sense, right? So if we have this, let's go ahead and just like grab a index page. What's something egregious we can do? Just do a. Oh, what happened? There we go. Oh, I don't know. Div, and then give it like a on click. Console.log test. No image alt's a good one. I'll try that too. Ooh, we gotta find a good meme for this. Let's go to Giphy real quick. We'll grab a. I love how with accessibility stuff, it's like everybody knows the things that are a problem, especially if you've like worked with accessibility, because they're just so egregious and like they exist so many places that you're just like, oh yeah, you know, like divs with no click or with a click without focus, or like images with no alts or anything like that. So, all right, let's see if there's any good accessibility gifts. I doubt it. All right. Oh, there we go. There's a accessibility related one. Let's click on that and grab. Cool. All right. Yeah, let's drop that in here. Let's see if we find that. Those should show up. There's our click me. Oh no, where's our image? Might be because it's HTTPS trying to load through a HTTP. Oh, I've lost my cursor too. What is going on? There we go. Yeah, there we go. Inclusion for all. It's New York subways. Neat. All right, now let's run that and see what happens. Hey, image alt. Interestingly, it didn't pick up the div. Odd. Yeah. Okay. Well, at least it found the image without an alt, I guess. I wonder if my on-click just isn't. Is it a capital C? No, that's not right. It is on-click like that. I don't even know where my div went. It was here. Oh, there he is. Did we console log anything there when we clicked it? We did. There's console logs. It's weird that it like didn't catch that. Interesting. Yeah. I think I might call the stream here. I'm thinking about streaming tomorrow because I have most of the day off. Or I have a whole day off, so I might stream some of this again tomorrow. And jump into maybe this this Axe streaming, or not streaming, this Axe like accessibility stuff. I don't think that this is running on every page either. I think that's part of the issue. We need to make sure that this runs on essentially where there are diffs in the code. And we might have to do something special for that. But I think for now, I'm going to go ahead and call the stream right now. I think we got a pretty good amount done. The Lighthouse stuff is building. Things are looking pretty good. I think I'm feeling good about this. I think we got to a kind of a good place with this. Hopefully we can get a little bit more done and really just like nail the things that we need to nail here. This has been a lot of fun. Thank you all for joining. If there's any questions real quick, I mean, I have a couple more minutes. If there's any questions about any of the stuff that we did, I'm happy to answer. Hopefully it was pretty clear. Basically, we just used the... Yeah. Summarizing the changes. Yeah, I can do that. So essentially, all we have is we have this new GitHub action, right, that we built. That so there's two different things in GitHub Actions. There are GitHub Actions and there are GitHub Action workflows. Actions are like this, like an Actions checkout, which like is a very specific piece of code that you use to import into your project to like do something. So in this case, it checks out some code. It checks out your latest branch of this repo, actually. So this whole file, however, is a workflow. So we wrote these workflows. Essentially, we just have it do an install, it runs the build, and then it runs Lighthouse, which does the automatic accessibility check, automatic like performance check, and a couple other small things that we get as a report here when we run it. You can see we have these. It runs on a couple different files. It runs on some different things in here, and there should be. If we scroll to the bottom, you can actually see the report for this page. We can open that up. Maybe. There we go. And this kind of nails a bunch of stuff, which is cool. So the only thing that it kind of misses out on is there. It still doesn't have this HTTP2. We can probably turn that off because it's not being hosted yet. This is more, CI based. But yeah, things are looking good here. So basically, we'll have an action that runs this run Lighthouse, and then we'll also have one maybe that runs the axe tool to just see how that works. And then the other changes that I made were just setting up the Lighthouse RC.js to take the preset no PWA, because this app doesn't have a progressive web app built in. It just kind of, we don't need those tests to run. So those were failing, like with a bunch of things failing. So we don't want that anymore. And then I turned off another small thing that just was not something we need to worry about here as well. Since this is running in CI, it's not really a useful test to have. One thing that could be cool with this is to have this run. The other thing that GitHub Actions can do, GitHub Actions schedule. Yes, so each YAML file is a workflow. And the actions are specific like sections of code that you use to do things in a workflow. So there's lots of different actions out there. If you ever go to like github.com/actions, you can see all of the different ones. You can build your own. Their documentation on this is fantastic. If you go to creating actions on this side, you can either create Docker or JavaScript actions. JavaScript actions are super straightforward. Docker actions are too. They let you kind of do whatever you want with any kind of code. So if you have like a script that your company uses that you'd like to get into CI, a Docker action is actually like a really great way to do that, because you can just like spin up a Docker image with the Rails code that you need or whatever, and then run your Rails script against it. With JavaScript actions, you can do a lot of the same stuff. This is the action file layout which describes the action, and it's pretty standard. There's also these things that they have built in, so you can get different things from your code. You can see here, like this is the example of a basic action. There's some cool stuff with this in general, but then the cool thing about actions is that you can also just import other people's actions, kind of from across the board. This repo, or not repo, this organization actions is, GitHub docs. Let me grab those real quick. So actually just toss the one for the whole thing. Maybe, where'd my cursor go? There it is. So github.com/in/actions, and then this is just the actions repo, or the actions org, which has all of GitHub's pre-built action things in it. There's also the marketplace, which is, I think, just marketplace maybe. So you can explore actions in here and find really good. I'll share that link too. So this is like a bunch of actions. Anybody can add their actions to the marketplace to run them. This makes it super easy to just like compose your way to a CI setup that works for you, without having to write a bunch of custom code and rely on like your own custom things. That's pretty much what we did. I think for the future, maybe tomorrow, hopefully tomorrow, we will maybe jump in, get this Axe stuff working, get the PR written up, and get something in there. So I think that was good. I think this was a really exciting stream. This was the most fun I've had on a stream so far. I think there was some really fun conversation. So thank you all for joining, and I hope you all have a good evening and a good long weekend if I don't see you tomorrow.